Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is so funny. Usually I don't have you guys like so close to my face, but we're trying it today. Today we're gonna be talking about how you can be less of a tourist when you travel. If you really like to travel but you're not into seeing the Eiffel Tower when you go to Paris or the Colosseum when you go to Rome, and you want to dive like a little bit deeper into the culture and into like just more hidden gem stuff when you're traveling, then this is the perfect video for you, because this is how to not be a tourist when you go to touristy destinations. So my first tip is to do your research. So before you go to your destination, or if you're stuck in the airport on your way to your destination, do a little bit of research before you go. There are awesome blogs. I will link a few of my favorite blogs down below, or websites that you can use to kind of help you figure out some hidden gem places to where you are going. But you can also just use like Pinterest or Instagram. Sometimes I think it's fun to like search on Instagram the place that you're going. So if you're going to Rome, then type in Rome into Instagram and just scroll through pictures, and you're gonna find obviously a lot of stuff about the Colosseum and some of the bigger attractions. You can easily find pictures that you also think are really cool places that you might have never even heard of, but you can see a visual right then and there about what they are doing, and it'll usually say where they are, so you can also take inspiration from them and head to the same places that that person is posting on Instagram. So the more research you do before you go, the better it's going to be for you to find things more easily. That way you can kind of get a broader spectrum, and you kind of know what you're getting yourself into and a few ideas, and you can figure out as you're on your trip. And my second tip is to talk to people. Like, this is the easiest tip. It doesn't take that much time, and you can usually get really good suggestions. This year when I went to Hawaii, I was at my dentist like a week before I went, and I told her that I was going to Hawaii the next week, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're going to this island? Like, this is like such a cool thing that like not a lot of people know about, but you can do this, and da-da, this is what it looks like. I'll tell you what it's called, da-da-da. So before you leave, you can talk to people and see if they know any hidden gems. But also I think once you get there, it's really easy to talk to locals depending on the language barrier. If you can talk to locals, they're obviously going to know things like the back of their hand. They're gonna know all the hidden secret cafes that are delicious. They're gonna know a secret waterfall that they like to go to because not a bunch of tourists are bothering them, or whatever the case may be. If you talk to people, you're gonna learn a lot more, and people love to talk about travel. They love to talk about cool experiences. They love to just kind of like willingly give that information. So it's usually kind of fun to talk to people about stuff like this too. It's not just like you're being like greedy and you're trying to like get all the secrets that they have or whatever. Like, people really like talking about stuff like this, and so not only are you getting some good information, but it's a really fun conversation, and it's easy to like connect with people through stuff. And when you're traveling, if you're talking to local people, sometimes they'll offer to like show you around. I had some family that lived in Boston, and when I went to Boston last year, they gave us a whole free walking tour of the city and giving us the history and stuff that they have just found out while living in Boston. It can be a really cool way to connect with people, but also find out really cool hidden things as well. My third tip is to use your resources. Now, this is like the nerd coming out of me, but I have always been the kid or the person to like, when I check into my hotel, like I go and find the little rack of all the brochures. You know what I'm talking about? Not all hotels have them anymore, but if there is a rack of brochures, you can bet your money that I'm gonna be looking at the brochures within the first like 10 minutes of being there. Because one thing, you can always save money with brochures. Usually they have some sort of deal or coupon code or some sort of offer in them, and so you can save money. But also there can be a lot of like really oddball things. Really small museum that you've never even heard of but could be really, really cool will be promoted in the brochure. There's just like a lot of different things that you can find out through brochures. A lot of them will be like touristy things, but you can find a lot of things that like you would have no idea about otherwise. So yeah, I always suggest to use like resources like that. Most resorts have like a concierge where they can help book things for you. They're gonna know a lot of information of the area that you're in, and and things to do because A, they live there, it's like talking to a local, but it's also just like their job. Like, they're gonna find you really good deals for one, but they also are just gonna have a lot of information and things that you can do. If you are like so set on not doing anything touristy, if you tell them that, I bet that they're gonna have a bunch of really cool ideas for you and really just like unique experiences. So I would definitely use like your Airbnb host or your concierge or whatever kind of resource that you guys can find when you are traveling. Like, I would definitely use those because I think that those are usually really unique experiences. My fourth and last tip is to join like groups. So I'm a part of a group on Facebook that's all about like traveling for women. There's a lot of people that talk about like solo travel. There's like a bunch of people who just like post pictures of their travel. People like ask questions all the time, like, hey, I'm going to Banff, Canada for a week. What are some of your favorite things? Or what are some unique things? Or what's the best cafe you've been to in Banff? There's just like a huge community of girls. I think there's like 500,000 girls in this one group that's specifically just for like travel, and so we bounced ideas off of each other and all these cool things. If there's somewhere you're going, you can check to see if there's groups for that specific area, or you can just check for travel groups in general and ask questions or scroll through, or in the search bar you can search like Banff, Canada, and that's gonna come up with a bunch of different things. So it's really cool for one, just being inspired to like travel because people will post amazing pictures, but two, like people just willingly give so much information there. So I think Facebook is like a super awesome resource that you can use, and I'm sure that there's a bunch of other groups on different websites that do similar things. Okay guys, those are my 4 main tips that I have for trying to figure out how to not be a tourist even when you travel to touristy destinations. If you guys have any other suggestions, I would love to know because I think it's so fun to find like the oddball things when you go and travel. So leave those comments down below if you have any other suggestions. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.